Electric bikes are extremely silent, economical, and peaceful to use with all these amazing features, amazing dashboard navigation present on the dashboard itself. This is the common belief about EVs, right? Today, let's see what exactly is the reality of owning an EV. It's been 1.5 years since I owned this Ather second generation. Since the day I purchased the bike, the thing which I had to learn and habituate to myself is range anxiety and calculations while riding the bike. The place where I live, for certain reasons, I am unable to use my dot charger, which means I am mostly dependent on either Ather fast charger or the private charging networks like Charger and Bolt, which I have made reviews on here anyway. But I have to be very calculative because of this. If the distance that I am riding is longer than 30-40 kilometers, then I have to figure out a way that where I can charge the bike on my way, because I have to come back the same 30-40 kilometers, you see. If the distance is shorter, some 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers, it's all peace. But if I have to ride longer, I have to take care that there is a fast charger on my way which is vacant, where I can plug my bike in, and have to plan my trip accordingly. Do you want to see how that goes? Come on, I'll show you right now. So this is a fast charger of Ather. Because I am not that dependent on the dot charger for certain reasons, this is a charger that I am probably 70% of the times dependent on. And the problem is this charger is not vacant all the time. Well, we were fortunate today that it is vacant and I was able to plug my bike. It takes around 1 hour for my bike to charge. But if this is not vacant, if there are some people who are plugged in to this charger, I have to wait that extra half an hour or 45 minutes for their bike to get charged. In either ways, I have to find a way to spend at least 1 hour or 2 hours what to do while my bike is charging. Also, there's one more problem. The charger which we get with the bike, it takes close to 4 hours or 5 hours to charge my bike, which means if I am planning for a longer drive on my bike, like I did for the Nandi Hills that you can find over here, if you want to plan a trip like that, you have to do all the calculations and the research about the fast chargers on the way, so that you can waste the least amount of time. If it is the portable charger, I'll have to waste 4 hours or 5 hours. If it is a fast charger, I have to waste only 45 minutes to 1 hour. But this is the scene with the Ather. Because I have an Ather, I'm making use of the fast charger network. What if you don't have an Ather? That's not a problem. You can still install the Ather Grid app where you can find the chargers across the city. And because you can't have this exact pin to your bike, you can make use of this 3-pin over here, which you can just plug in your charger that you get with your bike to charge your bike. Well, it takes around 3 hours or 4 hours or even more depending upon which bike you have, but still you have the charging network across your city that you can make use of. Every time I charge my bike, this is what I do, because I have to spend some 1 hour or something for my bike to get charged. I just figure out some way to do some work while sitting over here. So this is all about the performance and the range anxiety of having an EV. But along with that, there are a few more features that this bike offers, which are pretty interesting. You see, there is a mobile app for my bike, Ather, where I can check the charge of my bike, the live update of the charge of my bike, and the range that's available on my bike right now. Along with that, I can track the location of my bike wherever I parked. If the police comes and they tow my bike, and if something happens to my bike while it's parked and while I'm not there, I can track that on my phone. Along with that, I can have the ride statistics and I can plan my trip on the phone. These are pretty interesting features, right? But how often do I actually use that is the question. To be honest, the features that I use on this app are actually pretty rare. I hardly use those features on every day. Well, yes, I do work here when I wait for the bike to get charged, but I was fortunate that this spot has chai point. What if there is no chai point or Starbucks where the fast charger is present? That's actually the case. Not every charging point has some store like this. It's more or less right beside the road, right? So you have to find some way to spend that 1 hour or 2 hours of time while the bike is getting charged. Just a huge waste of time just for the bike to get charged. You have to spend 1 hour or 2 hours. But there's a reality of it, man. You have to face it. You see, you have to either carry a book or a laptop with you that you can make use of when you're just waiting for the bike to get charged. That's something you have to accept right now. So, every time the fast charger of Ather is not available, or if there are 3-4 bikes waiting for the charger, this is a charger that I depend on. It's called Charger. I have made a full review video on that you can find right over here if you want to check out. And you know what? This charger is extremely simple to use. You have a plug point over here. You have to carry your portable charger with a bike to charge this. You can just scan the QR code, charge your bike for 2 hours or 3 hours, whichever time you want to charge your bike, and then pay for the amount. This usually costs me 25 rupees or 30 rupees to completely charge my bike, but it takes around 5 hours or 6 hours because it is the portable charger of my bike, it is not the fast charger. So I usually use this for that extra 5 kilometers, 4 kilometers when I am riding to my home, or when I am riding to a fast charger where I need that extra 5 kilometers, I make use of this. Apart from that, this is just a lot of time consuming thing. Just in comparison, the fast charger will eat 1 hour or 2 hours of your time to charge your bike, and this will eat 4 hours or 5 hours of your time. The only advantage this thing has that the fast charger of Ather does not have is that you can pre-book the slot over here. You can book any X number of minutes, be it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of this charger through the app, and you can come over here for that slot of the time that you have booked, and you can charge your bike. That's a pretty cool feature which I very much crave that Ather fast chargers have, but that's not available right now, and this is what you have to live with. So these are the charger options that I look around for the city as an alternatives, because there are not many charging stations across the city like a petrol bike has. So you have to be very conscious, aware and on your toes to figure out every new charging station that you find in the city that you can make the best use of. You see, irrespective of how much time it takes to charge my bike, be it 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, the performance of the bike is amazing. You would love this bike, because if the dashboard says that I will get a range of 30 kilometers, I know for a fact that I will get 30 kilometers. Along with that, after 1.5 years of use, the smoothness and the acceleration of the bike is still amazing. I don't feel any lag in this. I don't feel any degradation of performance of this. I still get the same acceleration if I throttle the bike, particularly speaking of the sports mode and the warp mode. I personally use sports mode a lot, but these two ride modes, these are absolutely amazing. I mean, I highly recommend you to test ride this bike at least once if you haven't tried an EV. Then you will see the difference. You see, there is one more advantage of having an EV. If you have this bike in particular, you can save your documents on the bike. I think Ola S1 Pro and Hero Vida also will offer this. But this is a huge peace of mind that you can get from this bike. While this documents is one of the peaceful things that you don't need to carry your wallet and your driving license every time you go out, there's one more frustrating thing with this bike. This navigation. All these 1.5 years of riding the bike, it is only for the first 6 months that I loved the dashboard for the navigation. After 6 months, I just started to hate it. I just stopped trusting it. For a simple reason that the dashboard doesn't work. For the first 6 months, the dashboard was amazing. I could have the navigation right in front of me. But after 6 months, after a few software updates, I realized that this dashboard is built with the cheapest processor that you can ever get, which is very low performing thing. I think it's Snapdragon 212 if I'm not wrong, and with RAM of 1GB. And it really started to show up. The dashboard never loads, it stuck, it lags. If I click on the navigation, it shows blank screen for 5 minutes. It turns blank all of a sudden while I'm riding on the road. So after 6 months or something, I just went back to my usual way that we all use. Just have navigation on your smartphone and keep it in your pocket, and have yourself plugged with some earphones or something to listen to the navigation, or just find a way to fix the stand over here for the smartphone. Yes, this bike offers this interesting feature of dashboard, but what use of it if it's not working and I'm going back to my usual way of using my smartphone, stopping everywhere, checking if my route is right, and listening to my navigation through my smartphone? What good is it if it doesn't work? Every time I drive this bike on road in traffic jams, people often ask me, do I actually need a driving license to drive this bike? Well, yes, you actually need a driving license, because this bike offers you features which are not lesser than any petrol bike or a petrol scooty. You can drive a maximum speed of 90 km per hour, which are not lesser than any petrol bike or a petrol scooty. So today I have shown you the real world experience of having an EV. Talking of an EV, particularly Ather 450X, there are a few features which I absolutely love. The fast charging network, the reliability of the bike, and of course the app features that I get on the mobile app. Yes, I don't use all those features every day, but having those features that I can use whenever required is a good touch. But it also comes with a lot of problems, the range anxiety to start off. And the waiting time for the charging, and the unreliability of the dashboard navigation. But above all these pros and cons, there is one thing which I like about having an EV, which I am sure that a lot of people are actually also thinking the same, that owning an EV is more economical than a petrol bike. That's absolutely true. Also, there is one more thing that I want to share. Every time I ride my bike on road, someone will ask me and someone will talk to me with an impression that they feel bad that they don't have an EV, and they have an impression that I'm enjoying having an EV while they're struggling having petrol bike because they're spending more. But I'll tell you what my opinion is. Every time I drive my EV on roads and I see a petrol scooty or a petrol bike, what I think of is that, my god, they are having such a peace of mind. They are not facing the range anxiety every single day. Yes, I actually feel that. I feel that if you have a petrol bike, you have the best peace of mind. Having an EV right now, particularly the second generation which I have, which is probably a couple of years old, is the home for range anxiety. You have to face it every single day, you believe it or not. So, what do I recommend? Do you actually need to take an EV in 2023? Well, there are pros and cons, like I just said. But if you ask my opinion, the maximum range that Ather particularly offers right now is 105 kilometers. Ola gives you 130 kilometers, but there are a lot of issues with Ola which you see every single day in the news. And there are bikes like Hero Vida, which is very new to the market, Okinawa, which is older and which is not worth enough to try actually. So if you ask my suggestion, I'd recommend you to wait for a few months until you find a better EV that gives you better range, closer to 130 kilometers or 150 kilometers with reliable hardware as well. Until then, I'm not sure if EV market is that experimental for you. If you are in a city, if you have a dot charger in your home that you can plug in every single day, and if you use it just for a few specific things like driving to office, driving to school, to college, to some shopping stuff like that, go for it. Because I tried long ride on this bike to Nandi Hills, which you can find a video over here. If you know how I actually did that, riding 160 kilometers on this bike that offers range of 90 kilometers, don't miss to watch this video right over here on top. And do let us know your experience of having an EV or trying an EV or having a petrol bike and thinking of purchasing an EV in the comments below.